The real problem with Jurassic World Rebirth is not what you think it is. So, it's been almost a week now since Jurassic World Rebirth has stomped its way into theaters, and as you have probably already seen by now, this film has been getting a lot of mixed to negative reviews, with people either hating it or loving it. With something I've noticed out of all these reactions being the fact that nobody can seem to come to an agreement on what it is the real issues with the movie are. Everyone has their own theories on why the movie failed to land, but in watching the movie a second time, I've come to realize something that not only explains why everyone is so mixed about it, but also explains in fact what the real problem is that nobody seems to notice. But what could this problem be? What could be the reason for all these mixed reactions? Well, it's because the movie's about nothing. Hey guys, it's the Pink King here, and yes, you heard me correctly. This over 2 hour long film, is about nothing. Now, what do I mean? Well, if you watched my review on the movie a few days ago, you'd know that while I really enjoyed the movie, I did have some major problems with it. Like the family that got lost on the island, the entirety of the film's climax, plus everything to do with the Distortus Rex. It all felt meaningless and struggled to really engage with me. But it's not just here that the movie has problems, as even with the characters, while they are certainly better than some of the last characters we had, they are extremely one-dimensional, despite the several attempts to give them a purpose. And you know, after taking everything into consideration, all of these problems are not one-offs or a coincidence, but I believe they all stem from the same issue this movie has. That being, it has no meaning. Really think about it. What is this movie about? Well, it's about a team of people going to an island in order to extract 3 dinosaurs' blood in order to make a cure to heart disease. Seems alright, but that's it. This movie is only a set of events unfolding without any real elements of story taking place. Like with the characters, nobody in this movie has a goal, nor do they change. Everyone in this movie is the exact same from start to finish. And that, my friends, is an example of bad story writing. Let's use another movie as an example for what I'm talking about here. Perfect. With Avengers Infinity War, the story could be quite simple. A bunch of heroes need to get Infinity Stones and stop Thanos before the villains get the Infinity Stones and wipe out half of humanity first. But the difference here is the meaning. Almost every character has a different motivation or personal growth to them, because this movie understands that the depth to a story comes from its characters. No character goes into this movie and leaves it the same. Some characters die, others are successful, and others fail. Each character here has a different aspect to them, and that makes the story far more interesting than it would be otherwise. But in Jurassic World Rebirth, they set up the characters' motivations and backstories, like Duncan being a father with a dead child, but they do nothing with it. Even with the random family there was an opportunity for them to develop Duncan into perhaps getting a sort of redemption for not being able to save his own son by saving this family that he just met, or something similar to that. But outside of one throwaway line, they completely drop Duncan's entire story arc entirely. Or with Zora, it's established that she's suffered a great personal loss recently with the death of her partner and her missing her mother's funeral, but they do nothing with it. Her backstory doesn't play a role in the story or her motivations, as all she cares about during the movie is getting the blood from the dinosaurs and keeping the people with her safe, and that's really it. There's no explanation as to why, there is no understanding playing into the story with it. This film had the perfect opportunity to make itself more personal by relating the characters' backstories and motivations into the plot, but they ultimately never mention them again. So everything feels hollow and more like you're watching someone else play a video game rather than experiencing the story for yourself. But believe it or not, the characters were not the worst of it. As when it came to this wasted potential issue, just look at the movie's big bad, the Distortus Rex. This creature, despite being the main selling point, was ultimately the most wasted part of the entire movie. This creature's entire existence plays no role in the entire movie. It only shows up for the beginning and the end. And the rest of the movie you forget it even existed, which is crazy because there was a very easy and simple way they could have fixed this major problem. And that's have the D-Rex be one of the dinosaurs they need to collect blood from. That's right, instead of just having the Titanosaurus, Mosasaur, and Quetzalcoatlus, they should have included the D-Rex into that category, so that we are constantly thinking about it and worrying when it will eventually appear. You already have the perfect formula in order to make this sort of thing work, with the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. That dinosaur was the main bad of that film and was able to show up frequently and be a consistent threat throughout the entire movie, as it was the consequences of the Indominus' actions that led to most of the movie unfolding. Have the D-Rex show up more often at random points throughout the movie and slowly build up to it as the main threat. Maybe even do something like in Ice Age 3, hear me out with this, with Rudy, where the characters are being stalked by an enemy dinosaur but they don't realize and fully see it until it's the climax. We get the proper build up for it as we barely see it in shadows and whatnot, and the ominous threat that it has on the characters as we see even the big mama dinosaur is afraid of it. Stuff like that would have given the audience a proper anticipation and dread for this thing's arrival, and maybe even have it be a full circle moment. Maybe instead of Duncan luring it away with the flare, the characters end up luring the D-Rex into the more deeper water, the lagoon, in order to bring the Spinosaurs and the Mosa over to it. You know, the ones we saw at the start of the adventure. Imagine how cool that would have been if the first dinosaurs that gave us trouble are the ones that end up taking on the final boss. That would have been so much fun, as not only do you have a proper sense of closure by bringing the story full circle, but it would have been a climax that felt earned, as you also get to end your movie off in an epic final battle that would have helped the ending feel like a proper finale. Because right now, you could remove all of the scenes with the Distortus Rex and nothing about the movie would change. Which is very unfortunate, because then by default, the Giganotosaurus in Dominion is automatically a better dinosaur antagonist. I know, I can't believe I have to give Dominion some praise here, but it's literally by default, as the Giga at least shows up more in that movie. For me, Rebirth is a film that tried to do so many things, but forgot to make those things fit together. There is no development for the characters, there is no real themes or messages, there are no overarching threats or set-up villains. There is no reason behind the madness here. This movie ultimately feels hollow because that's exactly what it is. It's about nothing, and when you make your big-time summer blockbuster film about nothing, that is ultimately what you feel at the end of it. Completely nothing. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with my notion that this movie is about nothing, or is there perhaps something hidden here that I didn't manage to see? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm very interested to see what it is you guys have to say on this matter. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to see more content just like this, then be sure to like this video and subscribe. Doing so not only tells me you want more content just like this, but it also helps me make that content for you guys a lot faster. Also, I noticed that we just finally hit 14,000 subscribers, peeps. Thank you all so much for subscribing, it literally means the world to me. It was only a few months ago that I was at 10,000 subscribers, and even more time ago I was at 5,000 subscribers, so this journey has been incredible, and I just want to say thank you everyone who's been on it with me. Let's get to 15,000 subscribers before we hit August. Come on guys, I know we can do it. But with that peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.